Hi children, today we are going to learn about the third chapter, that is fiber to fabrics. This lesson is very important because you will study this lesson in 3 years. This year you will study about plant fibers. In class 7th you will study about animal fibers, and in class 8 we will be learning about the synthetic fibers. So let us begin. What are fibers? See, the fibers are very thin strands which are obtained from the nature, from plants and animals, or they are made from chemicals called polymers. The fibers are classified into 2 types. They are natural fibers and synthetic fibers. Natural fibers, as the name indicates, the fibers which are obtained from the nature, which are obtained from the plants and animals, are called natural fibers. Natural fibers are again subdivided into 2 types. One is plant fiber and another one is animal fiber. Plant fiber, the fibers which are obtained from plants. Example, cotton, jute, coconut, hemp. All these are examples for plant fibers. The animal fibers means the fibers or the fleece which are obtained from the animals are called animal fibers. That includes wool and silk. Wool is obtained from the wool yielding animals like sheep, whereas the silk is obtained from silk moth. These 2 are examples for animal fibers. Then what about synthetic fiber? Synthetic means man-made or artificial. The fibers which are made by man in the factories by using some chemicals like polymers are called synthetic fibers. Example, nylon, polyester, rayon, acrylic. All these are examples for synthetic fibers. We will be studying about animal fiber in class 7, and about synthetic fibers we will be studying in class 8. This year we will be studying about plant fibers. As I already told you, plant fibers are the fibers that we are getting from plants. Example, cotton and jute. We will study about cotton and jute this year. See, cotton, cotton is very usable fibers. Cotton is used in the manufacture of clothes. Cotton is used in mattress, pillows, cushion. Different things are made from cotton. So you are familiar with cotton. See, cotton is a plant which grow well in black soil. Which soil is very good for the cultivation of cotton? Black soil. Okay, black soil is the best soil for the cultivation of cotton, and the cotton is actually taken from the fruits of cotton plant. The fruits of cotton plants is known as cotton balls. Okay, fruits of cotton is known as cotton balls. See, this is the cotton balls, cotton fruit you can see in the diagram. See, this is the cotton fruit, this one, and from this cotton fruit, this cotton is separated. Okay, the process of separating the cotton fibers from cotton balls, that is the fruit of cotton, they are called cotton balls. These are the cotton balls. The separation of cotton fibers from cotton balls by combing with the help of a comb. You see, the boy is separating the cotton fibers, okay, from cotton ball. In cotton balls you can see lot of seeds. We don't want seeds, so the seeds and fibers need to be separated. So such process of separating the cotton fibers from the seeds of cotton balls is called ginning. That is called ginning. It is very important for 2 marks. What is ginning? The process of separating cotton fibers and their seeds from cotton balls is known as ginning. Okay. Now let us see the jute plant. See, these are the jute plants. Jutes are very long. Jute plant is very long plant without any branch. Okay, their stem is very long. The jute fiber is actually taken from the bark of the stem. From the stem we can separate the jute fibers. See, the jute plant are cultivated or grow well in alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is the best soil for the cultivation of jute. See, jute is grown in rainy season, and the jute, as I already mentioned, is separated from the bark of the stem. We have to harvest the jute stem before they produce flowers, or at the time of flowering. At the time of flowering, we have to cut the jute stem, and in order to separate the jute fibers, we have to keep the stem of this jute plant in water. Okay, in water. See, the man is keeping the jute plants in water. When we keep the jute plants in bundles inside water, the bark of the plant, that is actually the fiber, will be separated from the stem. This method of separating the jute fiber, see, these are the jute fibers. So jute fibers can be separated from the stem. So the process of separating the jute fiber from the stem of the jute plant by immersing them in water is known as retting. Okay, so what do you mean by retting? The process of separating the jute fibers from the stem of the jute plant by keeping the bundle of stem in water. When you keep the bundle of stems in water, within few days the fibers will be separated, the bark fibers will be separated from the stem, and this process is called retting. Okay. See, this is how the jute plant looks like. From the stem you will be getting the fibers, and the fibers are made into yarns, and the fibers, jute fibers, are of different uses. Okay, jute fibers, jute clothes can be made. Jute is used for making mat, carpet. Jute bags are there. Jute is used for making hats, caps are made out of jute plants. So it is a very useful plant. Now we already separated the fibers. The fibers are separated either from cotton plant, or we separated the fibers from jute plant. Now we have to join together these small fibers, and we have to make long fibers. Such long fibers which are made out of the fibers or the strand are known as yarns. By joining the cotton fibers or the jute fibers, very long fibers can be made out of it. Such, see, these are the long fibers made out of cotton. Such long fibers which are made out of cotton fibers or the jute fibers are called the yarns. The process of making the yarn, by joining the fibers is known as spinning. That process is called spinning. Okay, the process of making yarn by joining the thin strands together is called spinning. See, spinning can be done by a simple device. See the first diagram. The first diagram is a device which is a simple device used for spinning, that is called takli. T-A-K-L-I, takli. Takli is a simple device used for spinning, and see this instrument, this device is known as the charkha, which is a traditional device used for spinning. Which is the traditional device used for spinning? Charkha. Okay, similarly, which is the simple device used for spinning? Takli. See, charkha is a very famous device. Why it is very famous? Because Gandhiji made the charkha famous. Okay. Gandhiji used lot of what you call the handlooms the hand woven clothes, the Indian made clothes, indigenous clothes, which are made out of charka. By spinning the yarns from charka were used by Gandhiji. So charka is the traditional device which was used in India from long back. But if you use takli or charka, it will take lot of time for making yarns. That's why nowadays the modern device is used. The modern device used for spinning is the spinning machine. See, this is the spinning machine. Spinning machine can spin and produce yarns within a short period of time. Large amount of yarns can be produced, so that we can save the time as well as we can save the labor by using the modern device that is called the spinning machine. Okay. So, by spinning we made yarn. Now the yarn can be converted into fabric. Fabric means clothes. Now let us see how we can convert the yarn into fabric. There are two methods which are used for converting yarn into fabric. The one method is weaving and another method is knitting. Weaving and knitting are the two methods used for making fabrics, that is cloth from yarn. Okay, what do you mean by weaving? See, in weaving we will be using two sets of yarn. One set we used to keep in lengthwise and another set in breadthwise. So the process of making a fabric by using two sets of yarn is known as weaving. Okay, the weaving is the process of making a fabric from two sets of yarn. But see, knitting. In knitting, a single yarn is used for making a fabric. You might have seen in your home, your mother, auntie and all making such a fabric from a single bundle of yarn. Okay, socks, sweaters, scarf, all this can be made out of these woolen yarns. So when we make a fabric by using a single yarn, that process is known as knitting. Okay. See, the weaving process are done in hand looms. Traditionally, weaving is done by looms. These are the looms, hand loom, hand woven clothes. Such clothes are called hand loom clothes. Okay, but nowadays power looms are used for weaving. So this is the power loom which is used for weaving the fabric. Hope you understood this part. Now let us see the uses of cotton. See, cotton, you know, cotton is used for making different kinds of fabric. Therefore, cotton is used in textile. Cotton is a good absorbent in hospital. You know, in hospital we use cotton for different purposes. Then cotton is used for making mattress, beds, pillows, socks. Different items are made out of cotton. Similarly, jute. Jute is used extensively for making gunny bags, hand, carpets, curtain and clothes are made out of jute. In our shops you can see the ropes which are made out of jute. Okay, jute is also used for making different types of fabrics nowadays, and chappals are also made out of jute. So these are the uses of cotton and jute. Okay, so this cotton and jute are very good fabric material which are of plant origin. Therefore, jute and cotton are example for plant fibers. Okay, now let us see about the history of clothing. See, around 30,000 years ago, people were using only the animal skin or the leaves of the plant as cloth. Okay, and later the Chinese started producing silk fibers and producing silk clothes. And in India, we started using this cotton cloth around 3000 BC. Nowadays, we are using different types of clothes, especially made out of cotton sarees, cotton bedsheet. All these are made out of cotton material. So hope you understood this particular lesson. Okay, thank you.